This will be for optometrist LampSight. He's interested. He also has 2 children. And this is what I learned from Jacob Rafelson and Rupa. The public does not want prevention. They don't want prevention from an optometrist. Absolutely not. Now, when I was growing up, of course, I was nearsighted. I did the nose on the page problem. So I was angry at the optometrist, angry at the whole situation, until I got a degree in electrical engineering. And then I realized that all eyes are in fact dynamic. And this is not the fault of Rupa. It's not the fault of any optometrist. The fault is in you and your, starting to tell the truth, ignorance of the eye's behavior. It's an absolute science. And you're never going to change that, and you're never going to get better. I personally take the blame for what I did. My parents should have known better, should have kept me off the page. Well, but they didn't. But so I'll talk about Jacob Rafelson's research. He's a very curious guy. He felt there had to be a better answer before you start wearing a minus lens. Worst case. And so his research, he called it a spectacle hobby, just to clarify what he was thinking about. So he knew the public is hopeless. Rupa knows his health, hopeless. Optometrist LampSight knows it's hopeless, except for his own children. So I don't give advice. I just tell them that he has to do what Rupa's doing with her kids, keep their nose off the page and play tennis. So here's what finally got through to me. And this was a very thoughtful ophthalmologist, medical doctor, who wrote it up, and Rafelson found it. And this is going to be true for all of us. And this is why we will never get any prevention advice, support, suggestions from any optometrist. They just can't do it. And the problem is you, not the optometrist. So medical people have incisive, thoughtful ideas. And I'm glad that Rafelson saved this. He says, sight is not passive. He's really saying that at birth, all eyes are dynamic systems, control systems not defective in any sense. Positive refraction, certainly 20/20. Negative refraction, yeah, you'll have about 20/50, 20/60. So here's what happened when he talked to a person who was scientifically ignorant. He says, age 43, myopia has been wearing over the right eye, well, -1.25, virtually identical, with little change in the space of 2 years, meaning he'd been nearsighted for years. Eyes use more or less at the near point. I recommend the removal of the concave lenses for distant vision and prescribed a plus 3.5. Now, a little clarification on that. If you're 20, 40, or let's say you're passing the DMV, you can read at 20 inches through a +2 diopter lens, maybe plus 2.5. And you both do most things with no minus, but you got to get your refraction to change from negative to positive. So he recommended 3.5. After reading for several days, saw an improvement. Patient was of more than ordinary intelligence and understood the aim of the effort. Well, did he? 6 months later, he changed to +4. I would add that if you're reading at 20 inches, +2. Reading 10 inches, +4. Have the intelligence to understand the whole goal. And basically said, with the left eye gave 20/20th. Well, what you have to do is pass the DMV, which is 20/40, not 20/20. But so he's successful. general health improved, so forth. Similar results in 30 other leg cases. And here's the reason why no optometrist will help. LampSight will help his own children now, I think, and we will never know what happened. Because what happens is you keep your distance vision clear through graduate school, even a PhD. Because the parents put in action the science of the eye for their own children. There's no possibility that however bright the optometrist, he can do anything to help you. Not now, not ever. Okay, so, but the person did not really understand what was going on. And he described the process as tedious, which means he really did not understand. He was not an engineer, did not understand that all eyes are dynamic. And if you previously had 20/20 and you get down to 20/40, and you confirm both of this with your Snellen, that's when you want to start using the plus with scientific intelligence. I'm going to have scientific engineering because that's what I'm doing, and that's why I use the plus on myself. Now, whether our friendly optometrist can't do anything about it, but his own children he can. So that's the real message here. And this business of sight is not passive. Sorry, it's in mirror image. And what happens if the person lacks the intellect to understand the eye's behavior is dynamic? He won't stick with it. He won't look at a Snellen. He won't know what he's doing. And he will go back to reading the minus lens, using a minus lens, and he'll blame the optometrist for being incompetent since he didn't get back to 20/20. So that was my anger about it. And I realized that the problem was not optometry. It was a problem of ignorance of myself as a child growing up doing this type of thing. This is why the best ophthalmologist in the world can't change anything. You read what Rupa said. She's trying to get them to change, and they will say, oh, prevention at 20/40, that's tedious. That's why I won't talk with ophthalmologists, optometrists, and for the most part, I won't talk to you either, because it's got to be a lot smarter than you apparently are. Jake Steiner blames the optometrist for not doing anything. And he doesn't understand why it's impossible for an optometrist to do anything. And then he says money. It's not money. It's about the ignorance of the public that won't respond to intelligence and science and engineering. Now, I can't change that. Even this optometrist, LampSight, was thinking of changing. But he can't change anything. He can change his own kid's vision for life by doing what Rupa does and use a plus lens the way I use it. And since he measured the refractive state of the eye, all he has to do is make sure the kid reads the 20/20 line and could hold a plus half diopter lens and still read the 20/20 line. That's what they call hyperoptic reserve. I call it a buffer. As a matter of fact, if you did this, you would know when you're going to become nearsighted simply by seeing your refraction change from plus a half diopter to 0 to minus a half diopter. And then as an engineer, you could start taking correct scientific actions. But it won't, an optometrist won't do it. You've got to make the measurement yourself. And you got to remember what this medical doctor said. It's tedious. Well, science is tedious. Engineering is tedious. Spent many long hours thinking about it. So that's my anger. And that's how I solved the anger problem with an optometrist, Jacob Rafelson. The problem wasn't me. It's my fault. 100% my fault. Could I have done the right thing? I don't know, because I never had a chance. Maybe you have a chance. I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what you're going to do. I will never know what you do. Only you know what you would do. But I can provide the scientific tools for intellectual prevention. But physical prevention is something you'll have to figure out for yourself. Thank you, and thank this optometrist for making these commentary that he has. He can't do anything. except for his own children. And we'll never know what happened 10, 15 years from now. He will. The rest of us will not know. Thank you, optometrist. You've been great.